guys, how's it going? Hopefully we're broadcasting. Oh yeah, so here's another session of Fathers Without Fathers. It's been a while since I've popped on here, but it looks like this is going to be my occasional running video journal during the time of coronavirus. Wow. Hasn't it just gone incredibly mad all of a sudden, guys? That's just amazing. I think what is frightening about coronavirus is that it presents itself very, very gradually, and then there's a sudden upward tick, a huge spike. And I think we're sort of at the beginning of the spike where the diagnosed cases of coronavirus start to exponentially grow. And then, the resulting sort of people being affected, whether severe illness or, even death, starts to happen. But I got to tell you, from sort of a personal perspective, it seems surreal at first, right? And I think one of the things that is successful about politicians like Donald Trump and Boris Johnson in their earlier estimations that, it's nothing, it's like the flu, or this sense that any kind of reaction to coronavirus is an overreaction and that there's nothing to kind of worry about. Sure, there's the idea of quelling panic. Yeah, I understand that. But I think, as with all of us, we're lulled into this sort of false sense of security, I think. This idea that, it can't possibly happen to us. And because it's such a huge historical event, seen once in a lifetime, we just assume it's one of those things we read about in history books or things that happen in a foreign land. And so we generally tend to underestimate it, I think. But it's starting to become very, very real. I think it's interesting in the perspective of the UK, right? This idea, people might be overreacting here in the UK. It's just one of those things that afflict foreign countries like China or Italy, and there's that, I guess, national exceptionalism, which gives you a sense of immortality, maybe. But it's from my perspective as a Canadian, it's kind of interesting because when the whole mad cow disease thing happened here in the UK, we in Canada thought, it's happening in a foreign country. It's just a UK thing. It's not real. Can't cross the pond. And now I'm here in this country, and I suppose I realize that we all feel that sense of invulnerability, no matter where we are. I mean, I knew intellectually before. It's not like I had a sudden revelation, we're all the same all over the planet. I knew before, but before it was more kind of in an academic sense. Right? But when you're here and you just realize, wow, the stuff that happens in the UK, it's not happening in a foreign land. It's happening to me here now. And I think that people who, haven't maybe left the UK kind of think, it's happening in Italy. It's happening in China. It's because, maybe their public services weren't up to scratch, or maybe they let something go through, or, but guys, we're all the same everywhere. And from what I've read about Italy's response, they responded exactly the way we're responding. And it's not like Italy is a backward country, guys. So it's best not to underestimate this type of thing. So as a father, what do you do, right? Because you don't want to panic your kids, but you also don't want to underplay it. Because we can knee-jerk react in the other direction, can't we? Where we completely think, everyone's overreacting. Stop buying toilet paper. Stop buying face masks. You don't need the face masks. And I think in our attempt to not overreact, we find comfort and solace again in Facebook. Now, I'll talk about Facebook and the influence of Facebook, because it's easy to go, you don't want to get your news from Facebook. You want to get it from the news, right? Especially in this time where we don't exactly trust the media. But it's beyond that. because Facebook news, it's not like we're a gullible subset of society that looks at Facebook and believes everything that we read. I think what happens is Facebook posts are passed on to us or reposted from friends and neighbors and family. And so we just kind of automatically, maybe implicitly assume, oh, okay, well, this must be some sort of form of the truth, right? And we read the passed on Facebook articles because we trust our family members or our friends, but they might just be reposting from other friends that they trust, sort of implicitly, right? So, yeah. So I've had to take a step back and take stock, right? There was a lot of posts. There was one in particular I'm thinking of from a friend of the family who posted, sort of personal account of an immunologist, I think, or somebody of that nature, who was saying that